All right, I need to go over the form for the Chickster so you know what we're going to be turning in for that. So I call this Chickster. You can call it whatever you can give it whatever name you want, but that's what the assignment is. Chickster. And then the due date for this will be when we get back from break. So April 2nd, he will be due. April. Remember, next week we are here on Monday. We are not here on Wednesday. So just remember that. Okay. With this assignment, we are going to be rigging an organic character. And remember, the difference is that we're not parenting stuff. Some stuff gets parented, but the majority of it is skinned because it deforms. So learning objectives, setting up joints. Creating controls for the feet, eye, neck, and feathers, whatever you want to call those things on him. And then animating all the controls. So this one's very similar to the Pokemech. We rigged it. We set up the joints, we rigged it so that we can control all these different things. And then you're simply just going to show off all the animation of each one. So the right foot moves up and down, wiggles his feet, puts it down, the left foot comes up and down. You can have them walk if you want. You can have them interact with stuff. Okay. I would avoid picking things up for now. Now, because I said the word picking things up, people are still going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to quickly show, if you wanted something to get picked up, how you would quickly do that for what we're doing. I should just open Chickster. That'll be easier. Chickster. Oops. All right, so there's my little Chickster guy. If I wanted him to actually pick something up, okay. Let's say I have a cylinder in front of him. Well, actually, you're going to have an assignment that goes through picking stuff up, but I want you to see the easy way or the cheating way to do it and then the correct way. All right, so if he's going to pick something up, I'm going to set a keyframe on his stuff here. Scoot up a little bit. Oops, his hips have to go forward also. There we go. And that will come down. There we go. And this will come up. So I'm just setting keyframes and setting keyframes. Cool. And I don't need to tweak all these, but you just get the idea, right? So you tweak all those things. These would actually be like kind of down like this as he's coming up. And then when he gets here, his digits would like wrap around it, let's say. It's pretty close. All right. There we go. It's through just a tiny bit there. I don't want to go through. Oops. There he goes. All right, so now he grabs it, and then he's going to pick it up. Okay, so always animate the motion first. So there's the motion of him grabbing it and picking it up. And then to get him to actually pick it up, we can do two things, okay? This is the cheap way, the fake way to do it. So I'm going to copy this. So I'm going to go to where the swap happens, which is right there at 244. I'm going to duplicate the cylinder. I'm going to shift click on this handle and then parent it to it. So I have one cylinder parented to the handle, one cylinder that's just sitting on the ground. So now if I were to rewind, you'll see how there's one cylinder that's like locked in place, okay? So what I do here is I would then keyframe the visibility going on, go back a frame, the visibility is off. And then I would grab this cylinder and do the exact opposite. The visibility is on, and then the visibility is off. So now what it looks like is he's actually picking it up, right? So he goes, this plays faster, there it goes. Okay, so that's the cheap way to do it. We'll just delete that because we don't really want to do it the cheap way. Okay, so you can do it the cheap way if you want. That's perfectly fine for this assignment. When we get to the actual assignment, you will not be doing it the cheap way. The correct way to do this is we make a locator, and I'm going to shift click that item. I'm going to snap align objects, and that just aligns that with the center. So I need one there. I'm going to duplicate this locator and shift click that to my wrist controller and parent that. Okay, so now I have one locator on the ground right here, and then I have one locator in his hand. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that frame where the swap happens, and I'm going to click on the first locator, which is on the ground here, ground locator. I'm going to shift click the tube, and I'm going to say constrain parent. Constrain parent. Maintain offset, reset objects, add. Okay, so now this cylinder is locked to the ground. It doesn't look like it yet, but when I reset, oops, I lied. It's locked to ground, just believe me. All right, so now I need to get the cylinder to be locked to that other locator. So I'm going to find the other locator right here, which is the hand locator. And I'm going to click the hand locator, control click the cylinder, and then do another constrain parent. Okay, so now it has two constraints on it, the ground and the hand. What's going to happen is it's going to try to find the in-between of each of these. So as it's moving, it's like locked to both of these items. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to animate these ground locators. So I'm going to key it, I'm going to go up a frame, and then swap their numbers. And what will happen now is that he actually will grab it. Skip ahead. There we go. So now he's actually grabbing that same one. And what's cool about this is that we don't have to worry about any visibility. If I want him to put it back to where it was, I can just go back to the cylinder, go back to these locators, and then swap them again, and then he'll swap the location. Okay. So definitely you can do that. So we've created controls, we've animated the controls, and then we've made a movie of this, obviously. Movie of animation. All right, there's no planning involved in this one. Everything is directly given to you. The turn-ins for this are going to be the project folder with only the essentials in it, which is going to be your scene, movie, and source images. If you bring in any images, let's say for the ground, for the Chickster, for whatever it is, you'll bring those in too. And then the scenes and the movie. And then our movie will be a 960 by 540 movie at 30 frames per second. There is no specific time for this one, because as you animate your Chickster, you may have longer time to animate him or a shorter time to animate him, okay? Just make sure that it's all laid out correctly, nice and smooth as far as how the animation goes. I could take my whole animation and fit it between 10 frames, but then I can't see anything, okay? So no specific time requirement. There we go. And then the points possible for this one. Winter. 8 points. Look at that go. And then make sure you put your name on those, obviously, and then the class name and number. Cool. Questions on that? Yes, sir. Set up joints, create controls for the feet, eye, neck, and feathers, animate the controls, and movie of animation. Now obviously there's stuff inside there like being able to control the toes, being able to control the knee, all that stuff. It's all gross in there, yep. You could, but just keep in mind that if you do that, the focus is on the character, right? So you don't want to make it look too crazy.